Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh and His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the name of the one true God, and Yahweh Shai is the name of His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. And I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And I want to send salutations to all the Akim throughout the four corners of the earth, exalting the name of Yahweh and His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, in truth and in sincerity.
Shamar! Come here. What you want, Shamar, folk? Shamar, folk, what you want, Shamar? Shamar, look at that. What's going on? Look at them ankles, boy. Shamar, look at that. Junior. Bitch.
Why you touch my son?
Come on, hey, folk, don't touch my brother, folk.
Right, don't touch me.
Oh, hell no, those ankles ashy as fuck. Look at them bitches, Greg. Other bitch, Lauren. What's the little kids in them, not the big kids. The big kids not touching them.
I'm saying, why?
Oh, smash that bitch.
Why are they hitting them?
Damn! Crack, damn! Hey, fool, let my homie go. Let my motherfucking homie go. Let my motherfucking Be a dash, yo. They working it. Oh my God!
Where's my phone?
Alright, so that video was a video that happened in Chicago where you see, and I'm gonna try to keep my composure because this video pisses me off. You know, different brothers are different on how they see certain things, you know. I had spoke on this in the group chat, you know, the brother not the Zakia, you know, he a little different from me. He just kind of looks at it like, you know, it's just judgment on her and her kids and they deserve it, and I get it. You know, I get that notion. And, you know, brothers are, you know, hardened to the fact that they just want judgment on everybody. And he's right, man. He's totally right. But, yeah, it's just vexing to me to see how base and how low, how weak, how fragile we have become as a nation. And it's refreshing too, because it lets you get a reality check, and also a reminder when we read the scriptures about how things have to get worse before they get better, and that this world that's currently going on will be over someday, and we won't ever have to see that type of behavior again. You got kids, I mean, those were just kids beating on an adult woman who was pregnant, by the way. And you know, and on top of that, beat her kids. The fact that they even had the type of nerve to do that in a way that is so public, though, you know. You know, the fact that they can do that in a neighborhood where adults pay mortgage, or they pay rent, you know, they have a lease. The fact that they can openly do that and get away with it. And the only reason why we even seen it, because, you know, everybody wants to put something on the internet. You know, so now the whole world sees it. But the follow-up to that, there was an apology that the little girl that was assaulting that woman, she did an apology, but she was laughing while doing the apology. So it just lets you know, seeing a video like that, you can't wait for these motherfuckers to get their judgment. You know what I mean? Like, you want judgment to come. But you know, the Bible says the Lord is slow to anger. You know, we have the mind of Yahweh, but it's just like he operates on his own time, you know, and his timing is perfect, just like his judgment. But that video was so vexing, and it went nationwide, so everybody saw it, and it pissed me off, because our kids are out of control, you know, and it's all due to negligence and rebelliousness and backsliding and being wicked, and the curses that were put on us because of that, and we have to deal with that. But I'm going to start with Sirach. Let's go to Ecclesiasticus 16:1. And it says, desire not a multitude of unprofitable children, neither delight in ungodly sons. Though they multiply, rejoice not in them, except the fear of the Lord be with them. Trust not thou in their life, neither respect their multitude. For one that is just is better than 1,000, and better it is to die without children than to have them that are ungodly. And when I saw that video, every time I think of like some badass kids, and we got some really badass kids down here, man. Rebellious, violent, rude, you know, completely just ignorant. You know, I always think of this chapter, you know, always. The Lord don't even want you to multiply. One is better than 1,000. One righteous child is better than 1,000. You know, it's crazy. But the first thing I thought was, man, who the hell are the parents? You know, when you see some shit like that, who the parents? Well, the parents are there. They're just not doing their job. 2nd Esdras 5:8. There shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places, and menstruous women shall bring forth monsters. All right, and those are the monsters that you saw in that video. The monsters you saw attacking that woman, that pregnant woman, and beating her kids, and having no shame. They didn't even feel the sense of urgency to like even just, you know, do that and get away, because they felt like there was not going to be any consequences for their actions. You know, they just felt like they was going to get away with it. But the funny thing is, man, when I saw this, I told the brothers, man, this is why we have stoning in our law. This is why. Situations like that are why we have to stone and put away and put those to death, because you can see through this so-called black culture how ignorance spreads, and they make ignorance look good. You know, they popularize ignorance. They put it in an instrumental, and they rap about it, and they sing about it. They sing about everything under the sun that is against God and His law and His word. Deuteronomy 21:18. If a man have a stubborn and rebellious son, which will not obey the voice of his father or the voice of his mother, and that when they have chastened him, he will not hearken unto them, then shall the father and the mother lay hold on him and bring him out unto the elders of his city and upon the gates of his place. So if the parents can't get to you, the parents take you to the elders. All right. It says, and they shall say unto the elders of the city, this is our son. Our son is stubborn and rebellious. He will not obey our voice. He is a glutton and a drunkard. And all the men of his city shall stone him with stones, that he die. So shall thou put evil away from among you, and all Israel shall hear and fear. So this is putting evil away. See, what they're doing is, the stoning isn't just like, well, I don't like them, let's stone them. No, it's to prevent this from spreading. Because if you see rebellious kids being rebellious, and then the other kids feel like they can do it, next thing you know, they clicking up, and then it just spreads. It goes from one child to the next, to the next, to the next. That's why the Lord made it, so that you eliminate the problem completely. You know, it's in the law to obey thy mother, thy father. But as you can see in that video, this is why we have the law. Because them kids, truthfully, bro, they need to be lined up. They need to be lined up and get fastballs thrown at them for what they did to that woman and them kids. But with that, I want to say all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai.